Welcome back. It's your girl Portia. So spring is here. On the calendar it will say March 22nd. Today is March 16th, but spring is here in Central Florida. It is beautiful out here. It is, believe it or not, it's 12:30 and it is very nice out here. So I'm just going to show you real quick one of my beds I started. It got a couple of weeds. I still got a couple of carrots left in here. I'm going to leave here. But about I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. It was probably 3 weeks ago. I came in and I filled this bed up with leaves. One, because the dirt had dropped so much on it, but then two is to help fill it up and make it look nice and mulch the plants that I had growing in here. So I had mustard greens lined all the way through here, which some went to seed, the rest of them I just pulled. I realized I am not a mustard green fan, so I had planted mustard greens throughout my garden. So in this bed I just pulled them. The ones that went to seed, I collected the seeds, but I pulled them. And as you can tell, I still have a few radishes and beets growing on in here. My cucumbers are over there. My broccolis, I trimmed them back because I'm done, and they starting to sprout back up, but I'm going to trim them back again because I am done with them. I just cut them down to the stem, but I'm going to go ahead and mulch this bed nicely with fresh compost soil. Plant them in this bed. So this is a before, after picture. I just top coated it with 555 compost soil to start planting them in the bed. Okay, so now that we packed this bed with compost and broke it down a little, I'm ready to start planting. So as you can tell, I still have some radishes left in here, and those my cucumbers. I just fertilized those because as you can tell, they look a little yellow. My dill is in the back. I started that dill from seed. So I went to one of my big box stores just because I couldn't help it, y'all. Some of the things I already started from seed in my garden, but I couldn't help myself. So what I'm thinking, because I want to get rid of pots, this back wall, I'm going to lay my ginger down. As you could tell, I have onions in between them. But I think I only had like 3 onions left that I started from seed, and I didn't want to throw them away, so I just stuck them here. But I have onions there, but I'm going to put ginger in the back. Ginger takes a long time to process. It's in the back, so I don't have to worry about reaching over and taking care of it. It's going to do what it do on its own. So far, I had nothing but success with growing ginger. Ginger was one of the first plants I started growing when I decided I wanted to be a gardener. I had a success every time with them. So normally I put them in pots. This will be my first time putting them in a raised bed. I got a couple of carrots that's almost done, so I'm going to pull those out. But I think I'm going to start my carrots, 2 rows of carrots up front. And then I'm going to put my cherry tomatoes. I have 4 different kinds of cherry tomatoes that I am going to pop in the middle. This end right here will be where the cucumbers crawl up my homemade trellis. And once I put those in, I want to see how much space I have, because the cherry tomatoes I have are indeterminate, so I'm going to have to put cages on them. So that alone may take up some space in this bed. But hopefully I will be able to maybe put some radishes there, or even some cabbage or kohlrabies, something small in between the tomatoes. I do have basil. I have purple basil sweet basil, I have cinnamon basil, but I got them all in another bed. So I mean, if I have to, I guess I can throw a couple of my basil plants here, but I really don't want to. So let's see what this looks like once I map it out. Okay, so on the back we got the ginger, and I spaced them out just in case I wanted to slide something in the middle of them, but ginger's on the back. Of course, the things that's already in here be coming up. So I have, they all say indeterminate tomatoes, but these are all cherry tomatoes. And I do super good with cherry tomatoes here in Central Florida. What is that? Super sweet 100. I do very well with cherry tomatoes, but my slicers and my paste tomatoes, I maybe get one or two and then the plant dies like this. I couldn't tell you what is going on. This is the better bush tomato. I got one fruit and then there's another one, and then as you can tell, it looks like the plant is going to die. I have no idea why my tomatoes, my slicers, and my paste does that to me. I'm steady researching that, but we'll see on this next go around because I have more. Make sure when you're separating your seedlings to rinse it off, get as much dirt off as possible, and rinse it off and slowly separate them that way so that you don't disturb so much of the root. Definitely don't want to disturb the roots. Here is the finished product of this bed number 1 for the springtime. If you're interested to see how this goes and what grows and what doesn't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're curious on where I got, well, I got my starters from Home Depot this time. I keep these right here because of course I recycle them, and I plant my plants, the ones that I start from seed, in they same trays, recyclable. But hit the notifications for me and I will keep y'all updated. Well, I will keep y'all updated on all of my spring beds, but I will definitely keep you updated as I go from bed to bed to prep for my springtime. So this bed will have carrots, cherry tomatoes, ginger, baby kohlrabi, that's a cabbage, and cucumbers in this bed, along with maybe 4 onions that I had left over that I just stuck in here. I didn't show you guys on the camera, but I don't know why. I got to be the only person who does this. Not only do I go to the stores looking for more than one plant in a pot, but I get the ones that has the most leaves. I don't know why I do it. I grab the ones, not only is they healthy looking, but they have the most leaves. But come home with the tomatoes anyway, and I pluck almost all the leaves off. Like, I pluck them all and I plant it up to the very top. See this one right here, I should pluck this one. But don't ask me why. I look for the ones with the most leaves, but yet come home and pluck them, especially if they're on the ground, like dragging on the ground. I pluck them so they don't get mildew, wet, or fungus. I got to be the only person who does that. But the carrots will go in next week. The cabbage will go in next week. And I am still deciding if I want to put something in between the ginger, and if I want to put something in between the tomatoes, because this right here is going to be just carrots. But stay tuned and let's see what happens. Catch you guys on the next video.